I don't think I have all of this. Do you have another copy? No, I didn't have all of this.
So did you not get the
I
picture?
got that. I didn't.
You should have.
I got this thing.
But you want the picture?
No,
I mean, it's.
I have had the picture. I just took it off because I know what this.
Okay, okay. You're welcome. Got 2 minutes.
No telling it starts. It is in fact 9:58.
Good morning. Call the meeting to order. 10 o'clock.
Can you have action? No, but it was.
Um. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Have one item to add to the agenda. Memorandum, you were handed a paper this morning.
This meeting of business.
Well, we're gonna add it to the agenda under, and then it'll be under new business.
The night.
A1. A1.
Yeah, what type of is it?
Clubhouse roof replacement.
Reserve study.
Okay,
I have notes. I can take notes.
thank you, Susie.
You're welcome.
Do I hear? Do I have any resident comments on agenda items? No. No, there it is. All right, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
A motion for the modification, to approve the agenda.
With the addition of the memo to new business. All right,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June meeting?
So moved. Okay, second,
Second,
Tom.
all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. I don't have any comments. So what I got here on time. I think they had steps. The hills get higher and the steps get higher. The engineer's report you have in front of you, he is not with us today. Do I have a management report?
It's included in the packet.
You have anything in addition you wanna add?
Other than what's on here, the storm that we had Tuesday evening split a rod repair over in front of Riverview, so that tree was taken down yesterday. The stump will be grinded.
Bend.
Riverbend, sorry, I get those two confused. The stump will be grinded down today. And last night, Dundee was called in, there was another break in the pool pump. It's on the other side of where the original one happened, so the pool right now is currently shut down. Technicians have been called in, so they're working on that.
Okay,
On that, yeah.
always something, isn't it?
Yeah, yep.
We have no old business.
Question for the repairs to the small fountain to improve the water level.
Mhm.
They complete now?
Yes, they are. Yep. Mhm.
And it's interesting to watch the big fountain in the morning when it kicks in. Water comes down, gradually comes down until it gets to full speed and then the jets kick in and then the geyser kicks in. Quite nice. Okay, we have under new business discussion, restrictions of use, general rules and regulations as relates to common areas.
Could I give a little background on this, Marie?
Yes, please.
Okay, just wanted to expand a little bit as to why this is on the agenda and why we're discussing it. So, when Susie put the packet together, she highlighted, on the last page of the policy resolution number 26, as it currently stands, regarding common areas and the feeding of birds and wild animals. We occasionally get requests from residents to make modifications to the common areas, such as putting up bird feeders or things like that. There are other things also that residents may request from time to time. The problems that we've run into when this happens and modifications to the common areas get approved by the association is that the association is left holding the bag for maintenance and upkeep of the area when that person no longer wants to take care of the area. For instance, this specific situation I'm talking about is in 2021, the Thomases from Blue Ridge got permission to put a bird feeder up in the association common area, and they were given permission based on the caveat that they would maintain it and take care of it. Well, they have since moved. And now somebody else wants to take it over, but they want to move it to a different location that's better for them. I don't know that the association should be entertaining individual requests from residents to make changes to the common areas like this. If it's something that they believe that the associate would benefit the association or would be a nice thing to have, then let the association agree to install it and maintain it. Just like we had, I think last year we had somebody that said, why don't you put a couple of benches over by the large? I think that would be nice. It's just one particular resident said, I think it would be nice if we added some benches or tables there. Well, but then that's something additional we have to maintain and that sort of thing, so. The policy resolution working group hasn't reviewed this policy resolution about common areas yet. They're in the process of getting towards the end of this long process, and that's one of the ones that has yet to be reviewed. But I think this committee should discuss in general how they foresee in the future these types of things happening. And with respect to bird feeders in particular, We have this rule that currently says feeding of birds and wild animals on the common area is prohibited. However, bird feeders are permitted with written approval of Building and Grounds Committee, yet bird feeders are not permitted. On limited common elements. So we kind of contradict ourselves there. Limited common elements. A limited common element would be first floor patio or yards. That's in policy resolution number 12. So it just gets kind of messy, and we just wanted to facilitate a conversation to see y'all's thoughts.
It does get messy and in regard to a feeder on a person's balcony or their patio, we had an issue with that this year with the bird feeder there, and it was, you know, you get all kinds of trash plants underneath, so that I believe was removed. But in regard to this bird feeder that was put up by Mr. Thomas, and he was a photographer, he liked to take pictures, and it was nice. But at the time, it was brought up the fact that the hulls of sunflower seeds have a toxin and it damages the soil. So he was asked to buy the hull-less sunflower seeds, so there wouldn't be hulls. Because the hulls piled up under there. And a gracious member would go out and clean that up and haul it away bags full to keep it clean around there. And then he moved and he stopped feeding that. And another resident started using it and was putting in ground up corn and oats. Birds didn't eat it. It just piled up, and then you've got bird droppings and it's onto the walkway. And then you have vermin coming in. So it was really a mess, and it still is a mess. Nothing will grow there. The pole was in the way of maintenance. So it's a dead zone. It's a mess, you know, with mold from all this residue that's still there. So, and we have to remember that this is not a personal home. We can't do whatever we want to. And we can't have bird feeders every bird houses either, because they're abandoned, neglected and abandoned. We've still got some on the grounds that have been nailed to trees, and that's a no-no. And when that tree is harvested, if you've got nails in it, somebody could get killed when those trees are ground up. So I think the best going forward, in my opinion, is to not allow bird feeders, and even the bird houses now attract mites, because that gets to be a mess in those bird houses. I have experienced that. So as a reminder, it's not personal property and they shouldn't be allowed.
And there's also other situations too, not just with the birdhouses too, that, you know, we talk about, was it Krista's Garden? That resident who had behind Blue Ridge, who had started this thing, and association let her do it, and then she moved or was no longer living there, and then who gets holding the back, you know, gets stuck holding the bag. And that's what people say, oh, but you know, it was so nice and don't take it away from us. It's like, well, we didn't put it there in the first place. So I think just overall, I don't know that we should be entertaining requests from individual unit owners to make changes to the common areas. If the condominium associations want to take responsibility for certain sections, that may be a little bit different, I think, because at least we can have an entity to hold accountable versus just an individual resident. That's just my thought on it.
And associations have all they can take care of with patios. Some of the patios are in bad shape. And, you know, we mean well, we're gonna take care of it, we're gonna put it there. This morning I emptied a big, water bird bath with mosquito larvae. And the container itself is just green with grime. It hasn't been emptied and cleaned in probably not this year. So that's another thing that, you know, like I say, we mean well, but people get hurt, they get sick, they move away for a while and it's not being taken care of. So I think we have to stick to some serious boundaries on bird baths and bird feeders and bird houses, things like that.
May I speak?
Yes,
Good morning, Rick. My name's Jack Cook. I live in Riverview. It seems we're discussing two different topics here this morning. One being the Thomas bird feeder, which is left with Mr. Thomas exit. It would seem to me, according to the bylaws and their, as they're set down already, that bird feeder needs to be removed immediately.
it was.
It
It
was.
has been.
Okay, all right, that didn't come out in any of the conversations.
Well, we're still talking about.
Yeah, regarding the other topic, which is future bird feeders. And potentially bird houses, which is not in the paperwork. The way it's written, it would be up to this committee to make a decision upon the presentation of a request. And we're just talking about what ifs at the moment. So, yeah, I suggest we curtail conversation. Thank you.
Yes.
I read through, whatever was written in here. I've had the situation where I've had to prepare documents like this in the past and consider them with associations in the past. And, my thoughts as to this are, the association has to be responsible, on a wide basis. And whatever can be a liability issue should be avoided at all costs. And as far as individual requests here and there, wherever, the association needs to be able to accept the responsibility to act on behalf of the well-being of everyone and the well-being of the association. Bird feeders are nice, they look good. Birds do, quite frankly, probably much better on their own without them. And that's my feeling.
Anyone else?
I have a question. With the conversation at this point, the true issue is the longevity and the fact that Mr. Thomas could no longer maintain it. Would it make sense that the policy be improved to put a limit, say 1 year, on the installation of something unusual and require that periodic review that would either pull the unit down or confirm that it's still needed?
And that's certainly something that can be discussed. But as I move forward with the policy resolution working group and discussing, you know, how we should update policy resolution on use of the common area, I just wanted to get this committee's feedback on and thoughts on that, so that they weren't, you know, too conflicting
Do you know
ideas here.
when that's coming up?
Trying to get it, we were trying to get everything done by the end of the year, so, soon.
So, and we are more than welcome to be there at
Yeah.
those meetings.
Mhm.
In fact, I would urge you to attend as many meetings as you can, so we can have input and get things stated.
Yeah, when we put the policy resolution working group agenda out, we say which policies we're going over. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can come. If it's something that has nothing to do with what interests you, you don't have to come, but yeah, it'll be coming up soon. We'll be talking about these.
So we can lay this issue to rest today.
For now, yes.
And,
Mhm.
okay, all right.
Audra, another question about Another question about the policy resolution number 26. On page 2, you have further, any person who is not capable of self-care shall be required to obtain adequate assistance within the unit or to vacate the unit. How have you gone about determining whether someone can provide that care for themselves?
So this language is taken out of the public offering statements for the condominiums when they were first being offered for sale. I don't know how you enforce that or know that, and that is one of the challenges that we've had. Go ahead, Marie.
It's okay.
Mary Ann, sorry.
Actually, we've had that situation in our building. And as a general rule, it's the building manager who coordinates with the family and makes sure that if you can't take care of somebody is there with you. And we've had a couple cases where, you know, the recommendation has been, you know, maybe they need to move. And that happens sometimes, not often, sometimes. Generally, it's when either family, you know, is not getting along or whatever, but they have to be able to maintain themselves. And it can be with assistance support. But that's kind of how Blue Ridge has done it, and it's generally been done by buildings in the past.
Well, yes, but it has been a major problem in the buildings. I mean, all the time
yeah.
they're dealing with it. And, but there's nothing that this association or the condominium associations can do to force a person out. If they're living there and they're not capable of self-care. This is one of the challenges that the building managers deal with all the time is their hands are tied. They call, Adult Protective Services, they call the sheriff's office, they do whatever they possibly can, but the bottom line is we're not caregivers, we're property managers. So we do what we can. This is in there, like I said, because you know, yeah, if you're not capable of self-care, you don't belong here, but it's not enforceable.
That's, I
Okay,
mean, that's
but-
legal. That.
But I thought that, adult protective services and other legal entities, if a person cannot, if a person cannot get out of bed by themselves, then they cannot spend the night there. I mean, it's an issue that it's against the law and because it's dangerous if a person is spending the night not having a caretaker there. And I think that probably happens more frequently than we think. But I mean, it seems like it's more under their jurisdiction.
It is their
And
jurisdiction.
they tell people that that's the case and you can't do it and you have to hire a caregiver to
Or
stay
they have to
overnight.
find a place for them to go.
Yes, of course, but I
The
mean,
managers do.
it doesn't seem like,
No, not the
Oh,
manager.
the family.
Productive service.
Oh, yes.
yeah, I don't know if there's something that we can, I mean, kind of assist, protect services.
But this is not necessarily helping out. First of all, a building and grounds committee decision. And secondly, or like within our purview, but beyond that, it pertains to the buildings, less so than any of the town elements. Am I right or wrong?
It does. This policy resolution covers a broad range of topics. It's under age restrictions, which we do need to keep. See, this policy resolution doesn't just pertain to common areas. There's a
Right.
section on common areas. This pertains to rules and regulations that Lansdowne Woods has as a whole,
Right.
that the condominiums must follow, like age restrictions, window coverings, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why it's in there. It's kind of messy the way it is and it needs to be cleaned up. And I agree that maybe that part, you know, that's not something that we can. It's not enforceable regardless, but
Well, it's also.
the age restriction thing is,
That is, but it's
Yeah.
also not a building and grounds issue.
no, it's not. But he just saw it and mentioned it, I think. Yeah, you're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the memorandum to LWVA Building and Grounds Committee. Audrey, do you want to address that?
Um. Not thoroughly. I don't know if you want to ask Fred to. I mean, it's his.
He's here.
Fred, would you like to address that?
Hello, I'm Fred Bishop. I did want to say that Audra and Mary Norton have told me that I really shouldn't address this as a board member. The reason being that the board doesn't want to influence your committee at all. So this is just a suggestion for me, kind of a money saving suggestion, but please treat this as not coming from the board.
So you're not here? Okay.
No, I'd like to be here, but they tell me I shouldn't.
We just kind of ignore you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I read through this and I think it's a good idea. And I'm wondering. And now we're looking at 5-6 years down the road. Currently, there's a tennis court up there, pickleball and bocce ball, some other things. So when the time comes, and I don't know the condition of the roof at this time. It's not something I'm involved with at this time. So if we don't have that tennis up there, would we still be able to walk up there without it being unsafe?
Well,
I have an idea, but I think I'll just let that go.
I mean, if it's converted to just a regular old roof, then no, it's not going to be. It's not going to be an area where people can go to lounge or to watch fireworks or anything like that. My biggest question is, where in the world is this court going to go? Because we have,
It looks like it's taking up the parking lot.
well, it looks like it's out here
Where
Or
the,
by the restroom.
where the long fountain is.
where the
Correct.
long bed is,
Oh, that's what you wanna do? You
Which
want
has-
a fountain?
I don't know.
Or the
I
long bed or,
Currently, it was used for bocce ball. There is a large area there. I've been wanting to have a labyrinth on the grounds. We don't have enough room for that. So. It'd be a great savings of money.
maybe.
But
Not
maybe,
something-
but would it?
Pardon?
Would it? I mean, we don't know if the numbers in here are,
This
this is what Chat GPT says it, the numbers, the cost is, this is. You know, he says we'd have to verify the numbers, of course.
Dondi can speak very clearly to it as well. It's not just a matter, I'm sorry, it's not just a matter of, you know, taking off a roof, putting on a roof. There's a lot of
Yeah.
architectural, structural permitting that needs to be done. And relocating courts on this grounds, if it is over here, you know, with the water in this, you know, it's
Underground.
underground springs over there and it's not just replacing, it's leveling, it's retaining walls. There's a lot more that goes into it than, just that. So there will be cost on the other side of it, maybe out of the reserve, but on the other side of it, it's a new structure that you're
You
building.
also have to maintain that, but,
Yeah, exactly.
so you have to paint it, you
Mhm.
have to, well, maybe they have something now that doesn't require that, but, you know.
Just the ground earth moving alone to relocate, so it would be, yeah. So,
Yes.
We've been here a
Yeah.
year. And, when I first came, was touring the clubhouse and going over there. And I saw the tennis court on the roof, and I saw the other, you know, setups. My first reaction was, what? You know, I just couldn't see how it could be, kept up and maintained on a long-term basis. And the problems with, utilizing it the way it is up there. I mean, I would be hesitant to, I'm just extra careful all the time for everything you do up there. The cost of, doing what is proposed to be done, whenever that time period is, I can't see the advantage of that kind of expenditure. I think the obvious solution is to put it where they're suggesting, or in a similar location that's advantageous to everybody at the costs that are estimated. I don't think they're unreasonable at all. And I think that's the best solution.
Where's the location that's being, where's the location? that's
It would
being
be by the
put on?
fountain. I think
Oh,
the fountain
yeah,
would
but
go.
we just discussed it.
Yeah.
There's no other options.
You're on a
Over
hill.
in this section.
By River Bend? No, I go over here, right? That's that, yeah, yeah.
Fountain is down
That
that way, so it'll be up here.
What?
No, that way.
Where the long bed is.
All right. Whatever, it's someplace by the fountain, okay. Two things, one, we have, discussed proffers recently in our board of members meetings. And proffers that run with the land. And weirdly enough, if you go back historically through the proffers, which I have done recently, not voluntarily, but I did. And believe it or not, tennis courts are actually required for this 55+ active community. That and the pool, believe it or not. And I was doing this because of the whole vistas question that arises routinely. And we were working it out in the Conservancy. And I honestly went back to the original proffers in 1994 and followed them pretty much through today. I skipped a couple of years because it's too crazy, but so we have to have courts, bottom line, okay? That is part of what this little community is built on. It is why the Vistas belongs here. So the question is, do you put them someplace else or do you maintain them there? I think before we make any decisions, we should talk to the tennis people. Because, and the pickleball people and the bocce ball people, because there is not a spring or autumn or early winter or even hot summer sometimes where I'm not hearing people playing tennis up there or something that's bouncing around up there. It's very actively used by this community. I don't use it personally, so I'm not, I have nothing in the game. I just think that the people who are using the amenity should be speaking to this because it is very easy, I think, for us, given the cost increases that we all are facing and will face in the future. It is very easy for us to talk ourselves out of, well, we don't need this amenity, well, we don't need that one, well, this broke, we don't need to replace that. And I respect that because I am very much a saver and a cost-cutting person. However, I think it behooves the people who are actually participating in the sport to be able to make their views known. That's all.
I think it would be better ground level. Are we making a decision on this today?
We can't.
I mean, the request here from Fred is that the Building and Grounds Committee study and consider and there's lots of research that needs to be done.
There's what?
Research that would need to be
And
done
estimates.
and estimates and
So the conversation has started.
yeah.
Just a question, does everything have to stay together? Can you put the tennis courts in one area of the grounds? And I think I can speak for some of the bocce players here. I think we would welcome getting it off the roof and even a level playing field. So, I mean, it's just is it an option? Like, do you have to put everything together in one place, or can you put some in different areas? Just the consideration.
Anyone else? What is your choice here? Anyone want to make a motion?
I think we need more information, and so we're willing to consider it, but we're willing to consider it, but we need more information. I mean, we can't say yes or no right now, right? And so.
I think study should.
And who do we recommend? Do we recommend management and engineering do more studies? Would that be appropriate?
I think you should make a recommendation to the board as to whether you proceed with this. Because if we're gonna do, I mean, if we're gonna do all this work. Because essentially asking the Building and Grounds Committee is asking management to do the work. I mean, really, so. If the board is not even gonna entertain this idea, then. Where are we gonna go through all these questions? It was brought up at the board meeting. Was nobody. You know, it didn't go any further than just being brought up. It's my understanding, so.
And
If there's a recommendation, I think you should make a recommendation to the board. And then the board, if the board says they wanna pursue it, then of course management can pursue it. And
yes,
get more information.
it is a new idea, so we will recommend then to forward this to the board for further study and research. Do I need a motion for that?
Yeah, I think you should.
Do I hear a motion to recommend to the board of members further research and study into the possibility of moving the tennis courts down to ground level?
So.
So moved,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Well, abstain.
Abstain. The motion that you wrong. Pardon?
Abstention.
So I have,
Over here, abstention.
How many in favor?
yeses do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 abstain, and we have some absent.
We have 3 absent. 3,
Three absent
3 absent.
and 4 abstentions.
3, there were
3 abstentions.
3, so the yes is carried.
Yeah.
All right, so this will be forwarded to the board of members.
Right, and the board can say whether or not they're gonna kick it back here to, you know, to do more research, yeah.
Okay? All right. Open forum. Yes, state your name and your name, rank, and serial number, all that.
Serial number is. Oh.
Just tap it ever so lightly.
No, you just need a flipper.
Oh, it's probably not on.
Pat down, Blue Ridge. I want to talk about the bird feeders. Let me keep it anonymous, not an issue. It was that Dave Thomas got permission, and when he left, I don't think LWVA knew who took over. So they had no, when they saw this disrepair, what they did was take personal equipment away that belonged to somebody. And they were not made aware of that, and the water bath was thrown in the trash, and that was someone's personal property. So in the future, if exceptions are being made, I think guidelines should be set forth that if Dave Thomas can no longer do it, he needs to notify who his successor is. And guidelines should be put up if you decide on this action move again. Went to National Wildlife, and you can get these, you know, make some guidelines on what they should do. Yes. Was putting the wrong seed in, and he was just, the other thing that was happening though was, people, I don't know who it was also throwing bread around the bird feeders and on the outside of the fence. My dog would go after. Residents should not be adding to that problem. So whether you decide on the bird feeders or not, I kind of agree with Mary. Native plants, plant native plants, and they can get their own berries and stuff. But in the future, if you make exceptions, set the guidelines and make sure they abide by them. I know that behind Potomac Ridge, a gardener created some perennial gardens, and he can no longer do it. So Potomac Ridge has started taking care of those perennial gardens. They're aging out. And they asked the club to help, but we can't because it's only Potomac Ridge. I think they can do that. So it's your property. You can do with what you want, but let the residents know what their responsibilities are for that. Just saying.
The bird feeder, a resident was interested in, he said he wanted to take it over and move it, and he was asked to bring it to this committee, and that did not happen.
We also told him not to, Marie. The reason the Thomases had that location is because with Krista's Garden, that had always been a bird feeding location. And it was because our community room faces it. And literally people have coffee and enjoy the birds. And he left, Dennis took over, and he did have the wrong seed, and we asked that he get the non-fault seed because I noticed it as well. And he changed it. And the bird feeders were not filled, as best I know. And you know, whether you clean them in the spring and put them away or clean them in the autumn. Different people do different things, but I kind of prefer with Pat. You know, just if we're gonna move things around, because I don't know whose bird bath it is, but I have a lot of people angry at breakfast, so.
Well, that was being taken care of by a resident, and the thing is.
It was Dennis taking, it was Dennis that was doing that.
The thing is, people abandon things. There's all kinds of trash and junk and plants in the woods, metals. They don't belong there. We don't know who's doing it. So it's removed to remove a hazard. What do you do? I mean, people are signed up to take a garden plot. They say they're gonna be responsible, and if they're not, then at what point? I mean, how much coddling do we do here?
That's a very good point, because with the garden plots, we know who's at plot is, and they get a warning, and they clean it up or they lose it. So the same should be done if you make these exceptions.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be responsible for it? Keep track of it, give them a warning instead of just taking things away. That was the issue that residents were so upset about, because it was just taken away without regard for their property. That's all.
Well,
I don't care whether you keep it or not.
Yeah.
It's,
Residents need to be responsible for it. It's like the bird bath that's out there now. It's in an abandoned garden plot, and if it's taken away, somebody's gonna be mad. Well, they should be taking care of it. They gotta take responsibility for what they agreed to do.
I have no problem with that. I
Yeah,
agree
so-
with that, totally.
Going forward, when this policy resolution comes up for review, be there. Well, let's get it done. Anything else? Thank you for coming. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor? All in favor?
Who seconded?
Jack,
Who moved?
I don't know who made the motion.
Who made
Doesn't
the
matter.
motion? Okay.
I think three people made the motion.
Yeah.
I think Jack, I thought Jack
over it.
motion and Jack seconded.
There's actually,
Yeah.